So hey boys and girls, how's everybody doing? Q here. Hey, a strange story. On my way to making this video, my Apple iPhone 13 just decided to introduce this hideous screeching noise right in the middle, just ruining the recording. So you, my favorite listener, get voiceover. Here we go. Ground control to Major. Today, I want to review my Svartpilen, my Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. It's a 2023 model, I believe. It's got about 3,500 miles on it. And the quick takeaway is, I love this thing. It's so much fun. And it's all about the motor, but it's also not just about the motor. It's all of it. The suspension, great handling, you can bomb down a dirt road, plenty of power on the highway, just constant pickup and acceleration. It's just so much fun, my God. It's just great. I love this thing. So yeah, 3,500 miles, and I just did the first oil change myself. I didn't even do that first service. I mean, you know, all they do is change the oil and clean the air filter and look at a few bolts, right? I mean, it's not rocket science. I still have a little service light on my dash. It's like, whatever. I'll clear that someday. So, you know, this bike is very light. It's somewhere in the 300-pound range. I have no idea what that means in kilograms. And then, you know, it's got 47 foot-pounds, 47 horsepower. But on a bike this light, you know, liquid-cooled 47 horsepower, and man, this thing just goes. And the other thing that's weird, for me at least, is I'm used to riding a motorcycle at, I don't know, 3,000 RPM to 5,000 RPM, maybe. You know, my BMW R18, you get to about 3,000 RPM, and the engine's kind of like, hey, I think we're done here. I mean, there is more power there. You could rig that R18 out some more if you want to, but it kind of is telling you, please, you know, make it stop, please. The torque on, you know, the R18 is it's all down low. This bike is the opposite. This bike is delighted to go 8,000 RPM. In fact, it doesn't even wake up until 5,000 RPM. And I guess if you're coming from a sport bike, that seems normal. But, you know, for me, with adventure bikes and standards and Harley cruisers and the like. But for me, this torquey little guy is a bit of a revelation. And, you know, I've done a few mods. I put on a DNA air filter, which I thought helped. I could feel an improvement there. I believe in their air filters. I also put a FuelX light on the bike. And that does a really nice job of smoothing out the engine below 5,000 RPM. It was a little choppy. But now, you know, it's just brilliant below 5,000 RPM. But you don't need to go below 5,000 RPM. I mean, the party doesn't start until 6,000 RPM, and it's delighted to be there. And then you go to 7,000 RPM, and it's delighted to be there. And you go to 8,000 RPM, and it's like, hey, we're having some fun here. You know, it's just a ball. So it's just a great bike, 3,500 miles, mostly road, but, you know, some dirt roads. And these Pirelli tires are, you know, getting a little worn. You know, maybe I got 1,000 miles left on there. I don't know. The front tire's looking a little better. Still looking pretty chunky. So that's a good thing. But I really don't care about tire wear on this bike because it's so much fun, you know. It's just a ball. 17 inches front and rear. Easy to find tires for it, I'm guessing. You know, and this bike has the best suspension of any bike I've ever ridden. This WP it's compliant on the little bumps. It soaks up the big bumps. It's just plush, but it corners. It's the best suspension I've ever owned on any bike at any price. I got this little tail pack here. It's kind of small. I got my Alaska leathers sheepskin butt pad, which is really nice, keeps the perspiration off. It's warm in the winter, cool in the summer, just like they claim. I love it. And you know, when you look at the seat, it looks like this little skinny little hard thing. I don't know how they do it. It's one of the most comfortable motorcycle seats I've ever sat on. I could do an hour and a half, 2 hours on this, and that's, you know, not something I can do on every bike. The seat is just a delight. It's magic. Oh, and I've got this cheap windshield on the bike. You know, this is basically your aftermarket $50 AliExpress windshield, but it does a fantastic job, and I think it really looks good on the bike. It does a fine job of taking the wind blast off of my chest, and the air that goes over my helmet is really smooth, you know, and you can see I left the bikini fairing on the bike here underneath the windshield, and it's rubbing a bit there. That was kind of an oopsie. I got some Velcro down there to keep the rubbing from happening there, but probably should have taken the bikini fairing off. But anyway, fantastic windshield. I think it looks great on the bike, and it does a fantastic job. So boys and girls, I just love the bike. What can I tell you? It's an absolute winner. I don't care if this is your first bike or if you're a grizzled old veteran like this guy here fixing his hair. It's just it's an excellent choice. If you're a beginner, be careful because the bike goes. Look at that handsome man. Look at him. Look at him. He's so handsome. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye for now.